saw a Great Invisible Man. It's amazing. I couldn't even see him. Just walked right past me.
Hi, I'm Patrick Mckay. I'm one of the showrunners of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. We're here with some of our awesome, talented, amazing cast members.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Walker, and I'm here with some of my friends and fellow cast members from Rings of Power on Amazon. This is J.D. Payne, our inimitable leader and half of our showrunner team, and we're here for Hollywood Reporter at the 2024 San Diego Comic-Con.
What was it like standing up there in Hall H yesterday in front of a huge crowd of Rings of Power fans?
Crazy.
Felt a lot more relaxed this time. I don't know about everyone else.
It's very surreal.
It's really nice to be in that room. Everyone, it's just like a massive wall of love, and it just feels like a massive embrace. It was just really lovely to return.
Yeah, what's crazy is you can't even really see the back of it. You come onto the stage, and there's these lights in your face, and you're sort of like kind of doing this a little bit, and you realize the hall just keeps going back and back and back and back. Then with all of the sort of massive crowd energy that's coming at you, it's really overwhelming.
How many people are in there?
6,500 is what I've heard.
Yowzer.
The other thing to remember is that it's the first time any of us have seen what everybody saw yesterday. The trailer, we hadn't seen it. So we are just as excited as the audience who are watching it for the first time. And to see all our work up there, it's very, you feel very proud having watched it.
I had seen it once or twice, but...
Yeah, well, you have...
Ad nauseum. Oh, and also, see how I did that?
Yeah.
Doing press is important and a lot of fun, but just getting to be with the fans in that capacity and people that love Tolkien as much as you love Tolkien, it's humbling, and it's beautiful. Mm.
And I think, we were here obviously last time, which is wonderful, but the show hadn't come out at that point. So to see the fans with us, having seen the show, so now they know us. Now they came back, and they came back in full force with more love, more support, and we are just so grateful. It was really, really wonderful to come back. Such a difference with just as much love and support.
We did it a couple of years ago. It was the first time no one had seen the show. So it was a very different experience and beautiful this time because everyone had seen it, so you could feel their reaction to what they'd seen first season, how excited they were to be there and to meet us and do all that. So it was a different vibe. It was special.
I think celebrating with people that just love the show is just a wonderful feeling, and I think that's what San Diego was all about. The Comic-Con is just about celebrating these wonderful shows.
For each of you, what's been the highlight of your Comic-Con experience this weekend?
Cosplay. Seeing Disa. Me.
Oh, lovely.
I did. I saw a husband and wife as Durin and Disa, and that was very, very special.
Oh,
very
so
special.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would like to talk, it was a highlight, not necessarily a positive one.
Where is this going?
In the signing yesterday, there was a Lego man dressed as a Lego character. And, you greet, say, hi, how you doing? How far have you traveled? I said, hi, how you doing? Nothing. And the head was slightly at an angle and just staring at me like that. I said, are you hot in there? Nothing. And then Miv went to shake his hand, his Lego hand, and his real hand came out from behind the Lego hand and shook her hand. And then he kind of walked off into the darkness. So it was rather alarming.
Committed to the character. What's wrong with you?
I think he was a dwarf. What, do you know what he was dressed? Was it a dwarf Lego?
It
man?
was Lego.
Legolas.
No.
It was Legolas.
Legolas. Oh, well played. Well
The
played.
man is brilliant. What he was doing was brilliant, and you missed it.
It was very postmodern. It's Legolas made of Legos. So was he Legolas or Legolas? That's a question. But anyways, I think a small moment. I saw there was a couple at the fan signing yesterday who was one of them was dressed as one of our Harfoots, and the other one was dressed as the stranger. And the young woman who'd done the Harfoot had put so much detail into her Harfoot crown, and it looked like it could have come straight out of one of our costume departments. And it was truly amazing to see how much love the fans have put into replicating the experience of being in Middle Earth. That was one. And then randomly on the street, as I was walking, I saw a mother and daughter dressed alike, and just they weren't even dressed like someone from our show, but they were both in cosplay. And the daughter was probably like 3 years old, and it was the sweetest thing in the world.
Aww.
Yeah, and I saw a Wall-E robot this morning whose eyes went up every time he looked at anyone, which was really nice. That's all I got to offer.
So I shared a lift with Anthony Starr, Homelander from The Boys. So I got to sort of geek out, totally lost my composure.
What did you say to
Wouldn't
him?
let go of his hand. And just said, as he was running out of the lift as well, I'm an actor too, I'm with Rings of Power. So, yeah, but that was a highlight for me, meeting him.
I ran into Trystan in the steam room.
There were two women who had handmade my costumes from the show. That was been the highlight for me.
Yes. Similarly, there was a girl who came with a whole Elendil Sea Captain outfit. She'd done the gold sun on the front. She gave me a bracelet saying Elendil. But it was just fabulous to see the amount of work that had gone into that. Her joy, the fact that she got to meet the person whose costume she'd made, and my joy at seeing the fact that there was someone who'd done the same for this. Yeah, because you live in your bubble. You make a show. It happens in a little space in New Zealand, and then the next thing you know, that happens. Someone actually creates a costume on that basis. It was mind-blowing.
You got to give fans a preview of Season 2 yesterday. How is Season 2 bigger and better than Season 1?
Season 2 is bigger and better than Season 1. Season 1 is all about setting up the chessboard. It's all about the heroes. It's about bringing audiences back to Middle-earth. Season 2, we get to play. This is a season about villains. This is a season about Sauron, and it's the story of the forging of the Rings of Power from our title. It's a really exciting season. It goes some dark places. There's a lot of monsters. There's battles, romance, craziness, death, love. Yeah, it's all of it.
We do so much world building in the first season and we have so much terrain to cover in the second age. We really hit the ground running right out of the gate in the first episode. I mean, it's stuff happens very quickly. I don't want to ruin anything.
Well, I think it goes both deeper and broader this season. I think you'll see, Charlie and Charlie, going into a poor Kelly Brimbor here goes on this, descent into madness over the course of these 8 episodes, and it's harrowing to watch. But also, season 1 we had some big battles, but they were on the scope of like a village. And there was a certain volcano that explodes, so that's pretty big. But this season we have an entire city that is laid siege to, and it takes a full 3 episodes to have that battle play out. So it again goes both deeper and broader.
I think, the stakes are incredibly high. We're in a life and death situation. Evil is really looming. And so these characters that we've built in season 1 that we know and that we love so much are under a, treacherous amount of strain. And I think what's really brilliant is just seeing the trailer alone, as Charles said, we're watching this in real time with you guys. The accessibility and the excitement for fans outside that I've heard of, friends at home who haven't necessarily had a history with Tolkien or anything are just so excited. So, whichever genre you're coming from, it's thrilled with a whole heap of excitement and darkness and thrill.
How does realizing the truth about Sauron change Galadriel in Season 2?
Galadriel season 1 is convinced she's right, and she's not. She was wrong. And so actually the challenge for her season 2 is having to kind of look inward and, take stock and hopefully, grow past a little of her flaws that have unwittingly empowered the Dark Lord.
This is someone who's been so confident and so certain of herself for so many years. And really at the end of season 1, she realizes she's messed up. She has empowered the Dark Lord and brought him back in spectacular fashion. And she's not only done that, but she's also alienated some of her closest friends and colleagues in doing so, both Elrond and Gil-galad. And she's going to have to make up for that. And so it's really a journey of redemption as someone who's been so sure has to humble herself and seek to repair those relationships and to find her way again.
Charles, yes. What can you say about how your role is expanded this season?
Well, I always knew, when I first spoke to JD and Patrick, they said you kind of dip your toe in season 1, and then season 2, things kick off. And yes, that's exactly what has happened. It's expanded because we spend a lot more time with him, and Sauron is with him in the Forge. And essentially our storyline is pretty much just the two of us.
It sounds like a good single. You could have just the two of us, just the two of us.
We have got that planned. You've just nicked my idea. I had it all planned. We were going to do it tonight at the party.
I ripped it off. Please, go ahead. I mean, if you're going to steal from the best,
Have to cancel it now, JD. Going to pick up my outfit in a minute. So it becomes a battle of all kinds, very sort of devious mental battle, mental trickery, some of it, as JD said, quite challenging to see. But they both need each other. Sauron needs Celebrimbor and vice versa. And it's often a power battle. Sauron becomes much more in control later, but initially, they both need each other. So Celebrimbor has stuff that Sauron wants, and he chooses to withhold sometimes, and Sauron just has to wait. So that, but then it descends into a darker place later on in the series.
The Lord of the Rings world has produced such an expansive set of works. How do you hope season 2 of this show connects with and Oz fans in a new way?
The amount of action in the season is that you just get gripped instantly, and in my character's case, Isildur is just constantly in the mud. Thank you for that, Patrick, by the way. I'm very grateful for that. But I got to just do so much action, which I've just found so fun and liberating as an actor, and just the physicality of Isildur is just represented in his desperation. He's just constantly thrown around, and I think that's just what's going to engage the fans and keep them hooked.
I think also because it's set thousands of years before the Third Age, that you get this great privilege for us all, and I think that's what Patrick and JD have done so well. Is that there's a certain amount of information that Tolkien has given us, but there's so much he hasn't filled in, and that's the great joy to read these scripts when they come in and think, oh gosh, all right, so that sort of half an idea that Tolkien might have left behind for Elendil has been expanded into this particular character, this set of circumstances, in my case, with his daughter Eärien, with a dead son Isildur, that's just grown and given it so much more at stake. That's the thing about season 2. In every single world, there's so much more at stake. And so the drama ratchets it up and up and up, and for the actors, it's wonderful to be able to get into really juicy moments.
Well, I think it's the scale of the show. I mean, the scale of season 1 was absolutely huge, but this time there's I'm allowed to say, pretty much 3-episode battle, which is it's not just one thing that goes through 3 episodes. It's nuanced and has peaks and troughs and all different there's many sides. So there's huge amounts of physical and mental battle going on throughout the series, basically. It kind of erupts into this battle towards the end, and it's a lot of sort of unlikely alliances forged between usually warring factions that have to come together to do something about this sort of the existential threat that Sauron presents.
I think that's great, and I'll also say there's so many new and exciting creatures that are coming in this season. We're doing there's Barrow Wights, there's Entwives, there are bats in Khazad-dûm that a certain wonderful dwarf singer might sing to, or sing to her aid, perhaps. And what else? We have mud creature and Sauron black goo creature. Spiders. There's a whole interpretive dance we could do to introduce the various creatures of Middle Earth. But Patrick and I had it all practiced and ready for Comic-Con yesterday, but it just didn't come up. So.
Also, there's rings.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
But there's also, just speaking from my character's perspective as well, who's sort of not quite separated from a lot of this. There's still also a lot of heart as well that drives through, and I think that it's important to have the light among the darkness that's trying and fighting to get through, it's hard, but it is also still there.
Patrick, how do you approach the responsibility of bringing such a revered story to life while also still applying your own personal imagination to it?
With a lot of fear and trembling, with a lot of reverence, and hold it like a very fragile egg every day.
It is something we are constantly working on is going back to the books and trying to create in as Tolkienian a way as possible. We're always reading, and we would often start our days in season 2 in the writer's room with a quote from Tolkien that would sort of get us in harmony a little bit with the spirit that inspired Tolkien. We would seek to also inspire us. Obviously, just as you're writing, Okay, I'll put it this way. When I used to study jazz trumpet, and when I was learning jazz trumpet, my teacher said to me, "Look, you gotta just like constantly like listen to like the best, like listen to Miles Davis, listen to Dizzy Gillespie, and then like practice your fundamentals, and then when you're up there and the spotlight's on you and it's your turn to solo, that all comes out and sort of recombines through you in this unique and special way." And with Tolkien, it's the same thing. We're sort of constantly immersing ourselves in Tolkien, but then when we go to the page, and I think when all of us go to create something together, obviously the unique qualities in our own lived experiences will combine with that sort of Tolkienian core, and hopefully create something that feels of a piece with it, but that is also new and special.
That's so beautiful. And also, I would love to speak on music and the fact that JD and Patrick, just off the back of what you've just said, give so much license to collaborate and make this our own as well. I think that's what's so wonderful about our show, is that they are ultimately, with the heart and spirit of Tolkien and the amazing creative team, we are given so much license to embody that as ourselves and as creators as well, and so everything just feels like it fits just right. And in terms of kind of also bringing in new things, Tolkien was so wonderful with music, and again we have the amazing, untouchable Bear McCreary, who looks after all of our musical needs, particularly Disa has and JD and Patrick are great at just go sing, do things, and a song from Gil-galad this season, casually. So, yeah.
And in some ways, this group is actually a perfect embodiment of the very question that you were asking, because in some ways, this group is an embodiment of the question you're asking, because we have two canon characters here with Gil-galad and Celebrimbor, but then also between Adar, Disa, and Poppy, hopefully now people won't be able to imagine Middle-earth without having met, the father of the orcs, or a wonderful dwarven resonator princess and future queen, or a Harfoot, who has gone on this, long soul-searching adventure with a stranger. They will hopefully become woven into the fabric of what people think about when they think about Middle-earth.
Since season 1 was released, have you heard from any of the cast members of the original trilogy or Peter Jackson?
Ismail actually went to a party once and met Orlando Bloom, who took a selfie with him and then just sort of blessed he passed the torch over to Ismail in a way, and I think that's a great sort of connecting of the films and our world, which is, they're both very different but exist in the world of Tolkien.
I think there was a moment in which some of the regional cast members on social media gave a really nice shout out. Our cast experienced a lot of backlash, during season 1 especially. And there were some lovely moments where some of the hobbits from the original films had some shirts that they made that, sort of said, like, what was does anyone remember the exact, was it Middle-earth? It was for everyone, yes, and that's what it is, yeah. Yeah, and that we found very...
elven... different coloured elven ears, so it's like a rainbow of human colour of elven ears, which was beautiful. That's
and they were
about
made
the most wonderful interaction I think that I've had, the support.
Yeah. And they were made by Don Marshall, who's an incredible fan and supporter of our show.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the plans for the new Lord of the Rings movies?
We're obviously big fans of anything happening in Middle-earth, and we'll be in the audience.
I can't wait to watch them. And the dense nature of Tolkien's imagination has space for everybody. There's enough room at the Tolkienian table.
Since we are at Comic-Con, I'm going to have you do some rapid-fire bucket questions. I'm going to pass this over to you, and you can each grab one, and everybody can answer it.
Who is the most iconic voice in the animated series that comes to mind?
Boom! George Sanders.
Yeah, that's the one.
Shere Khan. That's good. We have to use this.
Robin Williams, Aladdin.
SpongeBob.
Who plays Mufasa in The Lion King? Who's that? James Earl Jones. That's a beautiful voice, right?
If you could cosplay as one character, who would it be? I mean, from our show, I think the stranger. No one would talk to you. Because you'd be so quiet.
That sums up your Comic-Con experience. You just want to...
No, it's not that. It's like you just wouldn't, you could be like silent.
Nice. Mandalorian.
That would be you would be Mandalorian?
Yep.
That's for you, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
But then, Ben, you would hide your beautiful face.
Great. Like be the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I have Pedro Pascal on line 1.
I think I'd like to be Han Solo.
In a lot of ways you are.
Thank you for saying so. I appreciate that.
I'm a Mad Max fan. I saw a pretty good Lord Humongous today. If I had the muscles for it, I'd go for that.
Immortan Joe, if we're going Mad Max. That's what I'd go for.
Yeah, awesome.
I want to be C-3PO.
X-Men, the one that can morph into, she's like all
Mystique.
blue. Thank you, Mystique. Mystique.
But how do you cosplay her? Because I guess you have blue and
Blue.
that makes sense.
Yeah, just blue pants.
Okay. No,
Can I borrow your
that makes
outfit?
sense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like something inflatable is always quite fun, whatever form that might be. Well, just like inflatable, like elements of costumes. So, like, you know, riding a dragon or like, yeah.
Oh, Stick Plus Marshmallow Man. That would be a great one to cosplay. Yes.
What is the best costume you've seen so far at Comic-Con?
Me. As in decent.
You weren't disappointed? No, come on.
Keep them coming.
I saw a really good Mandalorian, and he was pushing a baby stroller, and you could see the baby's head, and the baby had Grogu ears, and that's a commitment of a family, and I applaud you, I salute you, and this is the way.
I saw somebody today, woman with huge wings. I don't know what the character was, but it was an amazing costume. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what it is.
So if you're out there, you look great. Who are you?
You can answer this after I've said the fan that made the costume of Elendil, for sure. It's all about me. It's just ego. It was fantastic.
I mean, I saw a pretty sick Goku. I love anime, so like...
What's Goku?
Do you know Dragon Ball?
No.
Well,
You know a lot
you need to watch Dragon Ball. Goku's sick. Just like, yeah.
There was a guy who came dressed as a Lego figure. Sorry, beg your pardon. He was brilliant. Yeah, that was brilliant. That's the one, yeah. The psychopathic Lego figure.
And we had a good Tom Bombadil, didn't we, yesterday?
Yes, we did, yes.
I saw a Great Invisible Man. It's amazing. I couldn't even see him. It walked right past me.
Mine was Lego Man.
Right.
Lego less.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, people had like denim jackets that had all of the different rings names on them, and like, it was really cool. Yeah, I enjoyed those.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for playing the game with the thing. That was awesome. Thank you.